Hello and welcome to Assessing Your Learner's Work. When a learner submits work to you, they have two options. First, they can submit evidence for review, which means they've got an individual piece of evidence or evidence group that they want you to have a look at. They can also submit their competency claim. This means they are saying to you that this outcome is completely finished and they don't believe they have any more performance criteria or any more parts of their outcome to be completed. If you want to see how this looks from the learner point of view, please click on the learner journey video. Once that work comes to you, you can click on Assessor Tasks. This will then give you the two options. Awaiting evidence review will give you the name of the learner, the course they're on, and how many evidence pieces that they want you to review. So to start with, we will review this Henry Smith learner work. So by clicking on the course number, it will take me straight through to their evidence folder. And then it's saying in reference point 32, in this piece of evidence, Unit 303 evidence has been used in 303.2. You can see its questioning, and you can see the date and time that Henry Smith uploaded this to you. The black box means that the learner has requested the evidence to be reviewed. The green means it has been reviewed and you can re-review if you need to, and the grey means that it hasn't been requested to be reviewed, but you can still click in and do that. So to action that, I'm going to click in the black clipboard. This will bring up my contact diary. So now you've got a choice. Do you want the learner to add in some additional work, needs to, look at their questions a bit more and give you some more answer? Or are you happy for that piece of evidence to be finalised and done? If you're happy for it to be finalised, then lock the evidence so it cannot be replaced by the learner. If you don't want it, if you want them to replace it and you don't want to lock it, then leave it unticked. Put in your feedback. You can add in off-the-job training if this is needed. You can create a new meeting and appointment date. You can request the learner and the company to acknowledge. Once you've pressed save, it will refresh the page and give you the option to attach any additional documents or any related forms. So you may have an assessment feedback form. At the top then, if the learner has ticked too many things for it to be mapped across to, you can just undo them and you can remap where you want. You can again alter the RAG rating and the summary will show there, and then you can save. This has then reviewed that individual piece of evidence for the learner to then either complete or to replace. So this is now saying it's been reviewed once. Now the learner has the opportunity to replace that piece of evidence rather than upload a new piece of evidence. The benefit of this is your audit trail. If you had a piece of work down at reference number 24 that was signed off as submit my competency claim, and then the learner uploads an additional piece of evidence on top of that, they may not do that to reference point 40. Therefore, you're moving up and down the evidence folder. By the end of your course, you could have 500 pieces of evidence and only 60 are relevant. That's why, if the learner has replaced the file in here, you'll see the version history of the work they've done. So this will give you all of the previous attempts that they've made and the final one sitting in the main title here. If your learner has submitted their competency claim, again in Assessor Tasks, you can see the learner and the outcome that they've submitted. So in here, I can click straight into the folder type and it will bring me straight through to that outcome. You can look at the piece of evidence here. Where the black ticks are stated is where the learner believes that they have cross-referenced that piece of evidence to that criteria. If you agree with that as the assessor, change the tick to green. If you disagree with that as the assessor, continuously tick until it disappears. The ticks are identifying where you believe this piece of evidence meets this criteria. The yellow box at the bottom is when you have seen enough pieces of performance criteria to say that 3.2 in this instance is completely done and I'm happy to sign it off as competent. If you had a look and everything is complete, you can tick the main green box and it will highlight all of them as complete. This is great for your gap analysis at the end of the portfolio. Once you press save there, you can then accept or return the whole unit to the learner. Again, you can set a meeting date of the job, you can require the acknowledgement, and you can attach forms. Once you save, that feedback has now gone back to the learner. It has opened that outcome ready to have additional evidence uploaded to it for the learner to then come back to you and once again accept that competency claim. Thank you.